Huh?
What is
the 21? I just gave you 21
props I've gotten.
That's how many props. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Angel Blab. I'm Shalonda Gordon, the online marketing angel. And today with me, I have Amyra. And Amyra, I saw on your Facebook page how you could pronounce your last name.
Isn't that right?
It looked like it said, you didn't see that?
I did see that. I love it.
Yeah, and I played it a few times, right? Because I was like, I know her name, but I ain't never said your last name, right? So I was like, huh. But I think, now I'm going to say it and, charge it to my mind, not my heart. Okay. And now that I'm trying to do it, I probably can't. Mondon?
Yeah, props.
Yes. Okay. Amyra Mondon. Yes. Okay. Yes. Success for the day. Okay. So I have Amyra here, guys. Some of you have already been introduced to her and some have not. So I'll be reintroducing her to some and introducing her to others. Yet she is an amazing success story in the network marketing industry. And she's used the network marketing industry to kind of catapult herself and her family into a lifestyle where they can truly live out their vision, truly live out the life that they were created to live. And with that, I want to let you guys know that she is the 2014 IsaBody Challenge Grand Prize winner. If you notice, go ahead and show my muscle. See, I'm wearing a sweater because I knew I'd be standing next to her on here, but check it out. See, that is the body that some of us strive to have. And the great part about it, guys, is it's absolutely possible. But as you're going to learn today, it takes a few things that you have to be pretty serious about and really be prepared to do to have that kind of success. She's had physical transformation as well as financial, as well as just, I'd say, complete overall joy. But I'm going to let Amyra tell you more about that in a second. But before we go there, I want to let you guys know she has an amazing website. And I'll give this to you again at the end, but just in case you want to do your research, I know some of you guys are like, okay, wait, what? Where is she at? And it's at amyramondon.com, where you can also see more about her success and her journey. She has been featured on Salvage, the Herald Tribune, Success Radio, as well as Tampa Bay Buccaneers. She was actually, you cheered for Tampa Bay Buccaneers, didn't you, when you were in your 20s? So she's an NFL cheerleader. And from what I can tell, because I have some other friends that were cheerleaders as well, it seems like it's kind of like a sorority. You're always one. Once you're one, you're always one. So I'm assuming that she's a Tampa Bay fan. Is that right?
You're not doing so well right now, but yes, I love my Buccaneers.
Good. Yay. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it. As you know, guys, today we're talking about vision. And we're going to be giving you some unauthorized steps. So what I want you to do today, you could share this blab with anybody and all, but in order for a person to get those unauthorized steps, they have to watch it on the blab. They have to watch it on the video. Don't go out here talking about all the stuff we told you because it's unauthorized. So it's secret, right? Only you get this content because you took the time to actually create the vision that you want and get to the information that's going to get you there. So, Amyra, thank you so much, first off, for it. I will let you know up front, I tend to look at you on my screen and not at my camera. You're so beautiful. But thank you so much for taking out the time to hang out with me today. I have known you for many, many years. We met, honestly, in our teens. We were like 18, 19 when we met. It was that long ago. We were actually sorority sisters, ironically enough. And when we met, we were just kind of crossing, getting into it. Like we weren't even legal yet. We couldn't even buy alcohol. Like, how crazy is that?
No, you get it.
We were just, living life, no responsibilities. I saw a post today that said that being from the age 18 to 25 is like playing a video game without knowing the directions. So you're just running around doing anything.
I hope this works. I think this will work. Let's try this. Let's go this way. Right. So true.
And I was like, yes. So we knew each other back at that time of our lives, But tell us today a little bit about where were you when you realized that your vision wasn't clear, it needs to be clear? Like, what was your environment looking like? at that moment when you said, you know what, enough is enough?
Yeah, absolutely. And, first of all, before I get into it, I have to say thank you for having me on here, because one of the things that just warms my heart and just makes me really happy is to connect with people that you have history with, so to have been connected with you in college and to have these wonderful memories of being with you at the University of Georgia. And then to see you move into the same industry, to see you be successful, and then to see us come back together to help other people. I mean, that creates so much joy. I mean, I think it's amazing. It's wonderful. It's wonderful how life works. So, but for me, I'm going to back up, several years. I had gotten out of school and I started working in corporate America, and I climbed that ladder, and I climbed the ladder fast, and I climbed the ladder of success. And I had set the goal of making six figures by the time I was 30, and I accomplished that. But I was working a crazy, busy executive job in corporate America. And then I got married. And then when I got married, I had kids. And I left corporate America to stay home and raise a family. Well, that daily grind of trying to provide for the family, being a mother and all of that, it was starting to take its toll on me. And I'm at a point now where I am just very vulnerable, and I'm very honest in what was going on. And the stresses of life had gotten to a point that at night I would just wait for everybody to go to bed, and I would sit down on the couch. And as long as it was salty and crunchy and it was mindless on TV, I would sit there and I would watch TV, and I would just eat something because it was comforting to me because of that stress. Well, at the same time, I was also a bit ignorant, It's like you're talking about playing that video game. I think I was still playing that video game up into my late 30s, because I was a fitness instructor as well. I've always been active, but I was a fitness instructor. But then I woke up one day, and I'm an overweight fitness instructor, and it seemed that no matter what I did, I could not lose weight. Silently, I was embarrassed by that, right? I didn't let anybody know, but I was embarrassed by that, because it's like, how can I try to help people get into shape? And how are these people coming to my class wanting to exercise and to lose weight or to be fit when their instructor's not fit? It's kind of like going to the dentist. If I go to the dentist, I expect my dentist's teeth to be nice, right? And if they're not, I'm going to question the dentist's ability, right? So it was the same thing. So silently, I was embarrassed by it, and I was starting to feel really old. And was about to settle with the thinking that, well, this is what must happen when you turn 40 and you have 3 kids, right? And then a routine physical came back with some diet-related issues that I was not willing to accept. And that was the point for me. I was like, you know what? Enough already. I am not going down that path. That simple act of going to the doctor just because I didn't feel well. I felt, you know your body.
Yeah.
I felt a little off. That simple act of going to the doctor sent me down a series of tests and potential, all kind of stuff, craziness, right? And I was like, this is not happening. And so it was at that time that I was introduced to my current company. And I made the decision that I was going to do something different, because you see, I got to this point where I was not happy with who I was. I was very short. I did not have a lot of patience. I was snappy with my children. And I didn't like what I saw in the mirror. And then when it came time to, just being confident and being with my husband, I was like, no, don't look at me. Don't touch me. Turn out the lights. You know what I'm talking about, right? I did not feel good about my physical body, internally and externally. And so I made the decision. To simply get healthy. And it was that decision that was the catalyst to opening up a door and a world of opportunity that I had no idea that existed. So to answer your question, it started with, me being at a point where I was not happy, and me being at a point where my health was compromised, and me being at a point where I was at a crossroads. I was about to go down this direction that might put me, in situations that I'd have to, be in for the rest of my life, right? Potential diagnoses, things like that. Or I could take charge and I could establish a vision of what I wanted my life to be like and go this direction. I chose to go this direction, and it opened up so much opportunity that it is to where I am today, and it is now fueling my passion to help others and serve others. But that's how I got started.
Wow. See, and that's nice. And that's a story that many can relate to. You know, I'm sure right now there are several individuals sitting there thinking, okay, they're right there at that crossroad. You know what I mean? And they're in that position where it's decision time. You know, it's decision time. What is it that I'm going to do? And it's interesting because most of the time when you're in that position, I just want to know if you can relate to this a little. Most of the time when you find yourself at that crossroads, those around you that you would normally interact with, that your habits are to call them and you know, kind of go back and forth with, they're not the ones that are going to have what you need to get out. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
That is so true. And that can be a very painful process too, because you're at this point where you're talking about and you made a decision. But yes, you have unhealthy habits. And you know, there's the saying that you are the sum total of the 5 people that you hang around with, right? So if you're in this toxic environment, you may not even know it because it's just your life, right? Yeah, you're right. You may be surrounded by some people that are feeding into those habits, which aren't serving you well. So you got to make a decision about that too. And you might have to cut some people out of the picture. It's all good. It could be painful and it could be scary, but it has to happen in order to move into something greater. So yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah.
And see, now how did you, I do want to welcome Shutterbug McD. Thanks for coming and joining us today. But how did you make it past that part? Because I found in, you know, talking to people, even in my own life, right, where I literally have to just shut it all down, you know what I mean, in order to, and then I come back up, you know, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm still here after I've surpassed that point and have changed the 5 people or reevaluated, you know, who I'm around and that kind of thing. What did you do? Do you recall a specific activity that you had to, you know, actively do consistently every day? Because I know we'll get into consistency soon, but every day in order to press past and create the new habit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, I had to get really, really clear on what I wanted. And I also had to go through, which was a painful process for me, of recognizing my value and that I am worthy and that I am worth it. And I don't mean that as just words or the sometimes cliche that it can come out to be. I mean, like really getting comfortable with who I am and receiving that I am deeply loved, right? Because some of those behaviors that I had and the things that I were doing, they were stemming from an unhappy place inside. It wasn't necessarily what was going on the outside. What was going on the outside was a manifestation of what was happening on the inside. So I had to make a decision. Now, I've always been, and I'm just very fortunate for that, I've always been the type of person that just says, if I decide to do something, you know, I'm like, I'm either in or out. There's really not any shades of gray with me. I'm either like, okay, all in, let's go, or no, I don't have anything to do with it. So when I made that decision, I had to commit to the process. And in that process, I invited some of my friends to come along with me. Some of them came and some of them didn't come. And that was fine. Because I was at that point where I had to do something for me. I mean, it really was almost like, you know, looking back, it really was almost like, you know, life or death, you know, sickness or health. And so with that, it's like, come on board or not come on board. And I'm going to be very vulnerable here. You know, my husband was one of those people. He was not on board in the beginning. You know, when I had shared with him what I wanted to do, he was like, oh, you know, those things don't work, or oh, it's just another diet, or this is just Amyra going through another one of her phases, and, you know, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, and, you know, all that crap. Can I say that? All that crap. And it was very emotional, and it was very hard, and even talking about it makes me emotional because I had to say to him, you know what? I have got to do this for me. And so you see, it still gets me a lot, okay? But I had to say,